Good day, dear friends. You're welcome to another episode of Friendship Tips. I remain Favor Folahon. We'll be looking more into conflict resolution ethics in friendship. In the last episode, we were admonished to pray for grace to bear and not to withdraw from our friends whenever conflict arises. But today, we'll look further into scriptures to see how God will have us handle conflict in our friendships. Another thing to do in resolving conflict is to address it. Let us read Matthew 18:15-17. It says, "Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established." Verse 17, "And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglects to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an hidden man and a publican." In verse 15, there are 2 key words used: go and tell. Taking the initiative to address conflict is a righteous response. Although it isn't easy for most of us, we rather withdraw and react in expressing our displeasure. But the Bible says, go. So, go is a must. But knowing how to do so compassionately is very, very important. The truth is, if we don't address a problem, it will only get worse and express itself more terribly somewhere down the line. Once it is so heavy in our chest and we can't get it off, I think it is better to talk about it, because the more you think about the issue without acting, the more toxic it becomes. However, we do not want to address someone in such a way that we hurt them. We want to strike a balance between being assertive and getting your message across without becoming too aggressive. It is possible to address a matter compassionately. The following are skills to help us carry out this commandment. Number 1, don't wait for too long. The more we wait, the harder it becomes to address a matter. We may eventually lose interest or even the nerve to do it. 2, take a moment to sit and pray with your feelings. Most times, the conflict is about us, and we may not see it and see more of the other person. When you are too aggressive about a matter, it is most likely you are the one that should be helped. Matthew chapter 7, verse 3-5. "And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? 4, or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye?" Verse 5, "Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thy own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye." Anything that makes us see a mote in our friend's eye, it means there's a beam in ours. So, prayer helps us to see ourselves more than the other party. Prayers help us to see our friends as an instrument for our own salvation. And prayer helps us to compassionately pray for them even if their fault is evident. 3, know your intentions. To start with, what do you want to get out of addressing the matter? Do you want to just talk to the person so that he or she will not take you as a fool, or venting all your anger on him or her so that next time he or she will know his boundaries? If these are your reasons, it is better not to have the conversation at all and get yourself healed first. Desiring a restoration of peace should be the ultimate reason why we want to have a conversation at all. Romans 14:19 says, "Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace, and things wherewith one may edify another." 4. Don't go for a surprise attack. It is good to ensure that your friend is open to have a conversation. Let them state that they are willing to discuss it. You can start by saying, "I've been thinking about something I would like to discuss with you. Will you be willing?" And you can further ask, "Is this a good time to talk, or we can fix a time?" Number 5, make it as non-confrontational as you can. If your friend gets upset in the course of the conversation, of course it's going to affect your relationship. So one way to do this is to talk to them normally. I mean, how you would in a regular day or at a regular time. Number 6, use "I feel" and "I understand" statements. Instead of accusing and putting the person on edge, express how you feel calmly without blame. This helps to guide the conversation in a more positive direction. Number 7, listen to what they have to say. Allow them to vent. A healthy confrontation is not about dumping all your grievances on your friend. Allow him or her to have a say. It is meant to be a dialogue, not a monologue. This will help him feel valued, heard, and participating rather than being seen as a perpetrator. Number 8, know that your friend may not get on board. Understanding how to address a matter does not mean it will be successful, because some people have not cultivated how to take responsibility for their own behavior and instead prefer to blame it on others. If you sense this, it is probably best to just move on. If there seems to be no solution found, at least concerns have been expressed in a healthy and matured way. From this point, we can bring in a third party who should be somebody with judgment that has a measure of authority over you both. This is not wrong at all, as the Bible teaches us to do so, as we read earlier from the book of Matthew chapter 18 and verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. Thank you all for taking out time to listen. Let's go and put into practice all we have heard. See you some other time. Bye.